press record. We've started.
Oh, you did press it.
I did. Now it's recording.
I thought both of us reached for it, and then neither of us clicked.
No, I clicked it. We couldn't think of how to start, and so we just started laughing, and then we were like, oh my god, we have to record the laughing. Welcome back to episode 4. We apologize for the long hiatus.
It's actually episode 5, but somebody couldn't post a certain episode.
Okay, so we did have one secret episode, but it was 3.1, so we're still on episode 4.
Oh,
and if you want a link to the secret episode, you can try to prove yourself. We have a series of tests for you to pass before you can listen to it. I don't think you need to listen to me crash out, but, here we are, in a much better emotional state.
Yeah, she's doing much better.
2026 is going well for both of us so far.
Yeah,
How's it going for you?
It started off pretty, I don't know. I came into 2026 very scatterbrained, although...
Big life changes. What's changed?
I just got back from a work trip with my new team. I'm very sleep deprived. I'm like, now that I have to form coherent thoughts and like full sentences.
She's been drinking nonstop for 7 days.
I've been drinking and eating junk food for the past week. So the work trip was amazing. I went to Salt Lake City. The budget was crazy. We ate so well. They took us to an NHL game, which, if anyone's watched heated rivalry,
which everyone has.
It made me see hockey in a totally different light. Every time that the two teams are about to fight each other, me and my coworkers looked at each other
and got turned on.
No! We were like,
I
are they in love with each other?
Yeah.
Are they about to make out?
This is sexual tension on ice. But the hockey players were hot.
Some of them actually were.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and watching men ice skate backwards so effortlessly
does something to the female brain.
Yeah.
Female gaze is skating backwards.
Yes. But yeah, besides that, the workshop was really good. So for context, the past 2.5 years, I was in the most toxic work situation, terrible leadership team, no vision.
Wait, can we shit on your old manager in the podcast?
But not by name. About it? Oh, we can, but no names.
So is it revealing if I call her a bitch?
You can say her. Okay, should we give her like a fake name?
Wait, what's a name you hate?
Oh, that's a good... Mina Sue.
No, that's so mean. I like Mina Sue.
You are the problem. What the heck is wrong with you?
Because I have toxic thoughts in my head that Mina Sue says out loud, but I have the gumption to recognize when I should not have those thoughts. What?
Wait. I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
Wait, don't you feel like some of her thoughts are like kind of relatable? Like, I don't know who I like. I only know that people like me.
No, I can't relate to her at all.
I've always dated people who liked me, even though I didn't like them that much.
Sometimes I think you're not the most considerate person.
It doesn't make so much sense now.
It makes sense now.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm actually crashing out so hard right
over
now. You have no idea how much I hate Mina Sue.
Because it triggers you in so many ways.
I relate so much more to Minji, and I was so, oh my god, this is such a spoiler. If you watch Singles Inferno, just skip this
if you're not up to date, which is episode 10 right now.
The conversation between Minji and Mina Sue, I'm like, Mina Sue definitely knew Sungil was no longer interested in her. He straight up said, I'm so done, like, I'm going to bed. He's like, you're so fucking confusing, I'm leaving. She definitely, and I think she even said herself coming back, like, I'm not into it anymore.
I'm not defending that part.
And then she didn't even tell Minji. It's like she purposely wanted Minji to think that Sungil was still interested in her to, like, fuck with her.
Okay, I've never
evil.
Okay, I've never inflicted that level of malice onto another girl. This became a Singles Inferno tangent. I think, let me separate a couple things. I think her behavior in the more recent episodes is, like, obviously lost me unexcusable. Like, I'm not saying I relate to that in any way, because I would never have those thoughts. Okay. I was talking more about in the beginning when you're, like, not really sure if you like someone or if you just if you just like that they like you, and that you're like kind of
you gotta tell me which part specifically, because I'm thinking about the campfire, and that was also a shit show.
No,
that was so
I'm not saying I'm like relate to all of those things, but I like kind of relate to the part of like not having boundaries with certain guys, being like maybe they're a friend, maybe not, like giving them some hope because you're not sure. And, like, you're kind of confused. Yeah, you do have examples of that in your life. Yeah. And I will proudly say, I'm, like, not trying to sound condescending, but I do kind of look down on girls like that. I'm so mad. It's because I've been led on by guys who are like you. No, absolutely. I'm on the total opposite end. Growing up, I've always been so sure. This is not on the agenda. This is so not on the agenda. But I'm crashing out so hard. I've always been so sure of who I like versus who I don't like. And if I only see a guy as a friend, I do not give him mixed signals. See, I respect that, like, you don't need male validation in the way that, like, other girls did growing up. Uh-huh. And, like, I do, like, obviously leading someone on and, like, all of those things are, like, awful things to do, even if you didn't mean it. It's so inconsiderate. It's, like, extremely inconsiderate. But I think this, like, feeling and experience of wanting male validation does come from a lot of things that are, like, outside of just you. You know what I mean? So basically, you were traumatized because you didn't get male validation, so now you're making another guy suffer. I'm not justifying it. Like, obviously, like, you still have agency over your actions. Yeah. But, like, there is some level of, like... hurt people. Yeah, like, she obviously is insecure about a lot of things, like, has some sort of ego and is protecting her ego, and, like... I sympathize, not because I agree with any of her actions, but because, like, you know, it's coming from a place of hurt. Yeah. And it's, like, unhealed, and she's acting out in an unhealthy way. You are aware of it, and you've grown out of it as a 26-year-old woman. She is a 26-year-old woman who has not grown out of it and has no self-awareness of it. I can't respect that. Sure, you can relate to that when you were, like, 16, and I think many girls can. I'm not arguing with you. I'm agreeing with you here. Wow, okay, so work trip. Where did this became a... deep breath. I'm a reformed pick-me is where this came from. We actually haven't gotten deep into the Mina Sue feelings, so... Wait, what? We haven't talked about Mina Sue, which is why this came up. Okay, but anyway, so work trip was lovely. I don't remember how we got on this topic. But my conclusion... this was our agenda. My conclusion from my work trip, I feel like from me and Carolyn's conversations since college, we've always categorized people into two fields. You're either a sellout and you not make doing the good money in the world. You make the money that you want, but you have no passion for your job and you don't believe it provides any good to the world or any... And then the second camp is you're making less than what you would have ideally wanted, but you're very emotionally satisfied with your work because you strongly believe in the good that it does for the world. And I think for the first time coming out of this sales kickoff, I've felt very inspired by my leaders. They were very good at painting the vision that the B2B software that Adobe sells to our customers is the back end for like a lot of important like marketing campaigns or political campaigns. Like, you can't get the message out there if your platform crashes the night before a campaign launch. It's not so binary between the two paths. Yes. And I'm liking my work more than I did before for the past 2.5 years. So when your manager was a bitch. Yes, and I was literally disassociating every single day to cope. So yeah, there have been so many days where I go home to my roommates crying my eyes out because this woman was just an absolute menace. And we keep joking that every day I'm getting texts like, this is the most amazing manager and like team experience of my life. And I'm like, this is just you getting out of a toxic relationship where you think the bare minimum is like getting treated like a princess. Like when you had an abusive ex-boyfriend, you're like, oh my God, he remembered my birthday. And literally. Like, everyone should remember your birthday. It's not, this is just basic treatment.
So me and Carolyn have been sending each other daily gratitude texts at the end of the night. And for the past, like,
shout out
5
Carlene
days,
and Tim for the idea.
Yes, thank you. For the past 5 nights, I've just been like, I'm so grateful for this team. My coworker sent me a meme today.
What are you talking about?
And I laughed.
You were like
it was so pleasant. It's like, wow, my manager wrote LOL in his message. That was so sweet and heartwarming. And Carolyn's like, what the fuck?
I was like, what? I text all of my coworkers the way I text my friends.
Which is crazy to me.
LMAO, did you see this? Yeah, like this person's being such an asshole.
I would get dinged for unprofessionalism and my bonus would be cut. Yeah, that's what would happen if I put an LOL.
That's so funny. Okay, but getting back to your original point about the 2 paths.
Yeah.
And how you both feel purpose on this team and that the people you work with are really important.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on the flip side of, like, when I started out, I was like, oh, I'll give up the money to do something that I feel really passionate about. And then there is this not misconception, but like there are so many jobs out there where you can both work in an organization where you feel like you're making impact and like make a decent 6 figures and like make a living, right? So it's like that binary generally is just something we were taught that is like not necessarily the way the world works.
Yeah.
But like on the note of like doing good and value in business, I think that's one thing that we haven't talked about that I recently realized in grad school, in the class I'm taking called social entrepreneurship. And what I'm learning in grad school is that when you're in like a nonprofit, government, or just any like public servicey field, before grad school, I always felt that like each field had this perspective that we're doing the best and we're the ones changing the world and we should change the world through our perspective. So when you're in government, you're like, oh, my work is fundamentally the most impactful because we're the system. So when you're in government, you don't think, you're like, why would you ever leave government? We're making the most impact in government. And then when you're a nonprofit or like in a tech company or somewhere else, like say you're in a nonprofit, you're like, oh, well, we're doing so much good because we're directly doing good, right? Like we're doing direct service. When you're an activist, you're like, we're doing the most good because we're like, you know, pushing the system. And then people in tech are like, oh, we're creating products that change the world.
Yeah.
But like when you only have that experience in that field, you're like, my way is the best way. And like what this grad program has actually taught me is how like business and nonprofit and government all like are doing good that should be more complementary, and it shouldn't be viewed that like certain sectors do more than others. Because like business should be reformed in a lot of ways where you're not just seeking profit and you're making products that are really good for the world. Right. So there's a lot of reform that should be done in business. But business, like private corporations aren't like fundamentally bad, you know? Like they can be used for good in a lot of ways. And so this like really like more expansive view of how to make change in the world has been the most useful thing so far for me in grad school, because then you realize like, oh, how do I actually collaborate with other people? And maybe my skills do fit better in a different sector eventually that I never would have considered when you're kind of like government ride or die or like activism ride or die.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that actually is the
That was my week. How was your week? Okay. Okay. So dumb. Okay,
I'm giving Christina more space in this relationship to talk about her life.
Yes.
Where are we? Okay. I think my update in the first month of the year has been that it hasn't been like easy per se, as in the city hasn't gotten less overwhelming, but I do think community has been better and I'm feeling less lonely than the last time we talked on the podcast. Honestly, it just did take time, and I'm really getting along with my grad school friends and making a lot of good friendships. We had a really fun party last night that Claire and I threw. It was like a back to school party.
I just want to jump in here and be like, who was the wise soul that said, you know, I think it'll just take time?
You and every other person I talked to.
Yes, exactly. So we all told you so, but I'm so glad you're doing better.
My response to that was, I know that.
It just sucks right now.
And it doesn't help me in the moment feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, one second.
I realized I was screaming this entire
You're
time.
screaming about Mina Sue.
Yeah.
And I think something you said on a previous podcast that was really helpful, or maybe it was in a conversation, was really just to like focus on the people who are like
giving you, like, making as much effort with you. So I think I felt really burnt out towards the end of last semester because I felt I was always making plans and reaching out to people. And I was just really tired of no one, like, prioritizing me.
Right.
So I've really been paying attention to who's reaching out to me, how do I feel energy-wise after I hang out with them. I think I've also learned that it's a false narrative to feel that only certain people can understand me emotionally, or I'm this, like, complicated, emotional, intellectual person, and that I should really just focus on... This is actually an article on Substack from someone called Henrik Carlson, which is the idea that maybe your problem is that you're not asking the people in front of you the right questions, or seeing all the different facets to them. Yeah. And so you fixate on people you feel understand you instead of the people who are actually there for you. Christina's like, yeah, preach. Yes. She's like, this is everything I always wanted to hear. I think it is true that there are obviously some people where you think more similarly, or, like, maybe you have certain interests that you don't have with other people. But none of us are so unique that only one person in the world can understand us. And we have so many different parts, and that's what different friends are for, right? Yeah. I had this conversation with Proc recently, too, where, like, I go to you for certain conversations. I go to Lena for certain conversations. I have other friends for other things. Yeah. And I would never expect you to do, like, a deep political theory conversation with me, because that's not your interest. And, like, I would go to you, like, shoulder to cry on, and maybe someone else for, like, someone to tell me to, like, grow the fuck up and move on. Like, that's what Joyce is for, right? In November, I was really feeling a disconnect with people, and so when I really connected with someone, it felt like it was a special thing. And now I'm like, what I care about in my friendships is consistency, and being there for me, and consistency. I'm just like, not being hot and cold and being consistent. Yes. Yeah. And that's the whole idea that, like, having a really intense connection with someone, like, doesn't mean there's a strong connection. Like, strength of connection is built over time. Yes. And I think one thing that's helped is this idea, and we were talking about this earlier, that thinking about your problems more won't fix them. Yes, exactly. I think there was a feeling that if I let and it's true to some extent that letting yourself feel it is healthy. Yeah. But sometimes just, like, going round and round about a feeling and a mental loop is just kind of, you're just spinning your wheels, and it's not really helping you move on from a situation or, like, change anything about your life. Right. And the answer often is really simple. But when you're, like, caught up in, like, the drama and the intensity of it all and your emotions and how, like, deep you feel and how, like, complicated and special your problems are, you, like, you don't want to hear an answer that's like, oh, it's really simple, you should do X, Y, and Z. Because it feels really reductive of this, like, deep emotional experience that you're having. Right. But once you come out of it, you're like, oh, that is just true. Exactly. Like, it was pretty simple. Exactly. And I think one piece that really did help move this, so that in the secret episode, Christina crashes out at me for texting my high school ex and, like, seeing him over.
Which ended up being fine.
Which now you could be like, it was a good idea.
Well, okay, I don't know. Wait, was it? Why would you say that?
Okay, so my point is, when I got dinner with him, we had a pleasant conversation. Yes. We talked about essentially all the similar topics that this other guy and I had. But it also made me realize, like, I had this conversation with this guy, and it was approached in, like, a generally more emotionally mature way. It was like we were having those topics, but we were having it in the context of our relationship, but it wasn't like, you mean more to me than you do.
No boundaries were crossed.
Yeah. Yes. It was like, I'm interested in what you think about this, and I'm enjoying this conversation, and we're friends, and that's all it is. Anyways, my point being is that I'm doing better. I've set boundaries.
Oh, yeah.
I'm happy. What's the point?
Yes. What's the point?
Is that I'm taking a step back.
Oh, I forgot where we were going with this.
Because you're all I've done this podcast is raise your blood pressure to the point that, here, drink some water. Like, you're gonna need to go to the doctor after this. Don't go get a physical this soon after you.
My heart is racing right now.
Honestly, it's like cardio. Helping you burn calories just sitting here screaming. Okay, I feel like the TLDR of this podcast is just like think about yourself less and be more considerate to other people, and you're like, that's my mantra.
Yes. And it's so funny because when I texted you that, you were like, I want an apology for you saying that. And I was like, I was like, oh, maybe just think about yourself less.
I think it's that also, that's definitely true, and I agree with it. But I think I interpret it as the implication that in like all my friendships, I'm like not asking them about their life or like present with them in other ways. And I was like, I think I act differently with other people too.
Okay, yeah. I think I just meant it in the context of like
our
us.
relationship.
Yeah.
I think
and then she explained about the ways that she was looking out for me and thinking of me, that I had just thought, oh, she wanted that for herself, but she actually meant it for me. So we talked it out. Yeah. But I had said those words to her a week ago.
And it'd actually be interesting if we tried to find it out on the podcast and be like, what is it actually?
Oh my gosh, shout out to Erica for sitting through that brunch when I was still angry at Carolyn.
I feel like you got better throughout the brunch.
Yeah, so when I first saw her, I was like, I can't even look at her.
Wait, literally, what happened was like, she was mad at me and had texted me, but like on her way to brunch. So I'm sitting there reading the text and I say hi to Erica and I'm like, sorry, Erica, I need to read this. And then I'm just like, I guess I won't respond because I'm about to see her in 30 seconds. Yeah. And then Erica was like doing her best to just be like, oh, how's this? How's that? And just like chatting with both of us. But she was also kind of like, oh, this always happens, right?
I gave Erica a heads up too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I didn't give her specifics. I was more just like, oh, like me and Carolyn are like in the middle of hashing something out. We just haven't hashed it out yet fully.
She's heard that we've like had things where she's always just like, oh yeah, like this is one of those things.
Yeah.
But you did get more cheerful throughout the day. The whole time I was like, yes, I will only ask about questions about your life.
What's funny is that I noticed that during that brunch,
I was like,
you were really asking Erica a lot of questions.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you were.
That's so funny. I was, so
how's this? Hyper aware.
What you don't know is that I was telling Lena this. After that, I was like, okay, and then on my notes app, I started a list of all the things my friends had going on that week and all the days of the week I needed to. So I was like, Shree, jury duty Tuesday, text her about jury duty. Katie, procedure Friday. It was so funny.
All your friends that week must have been like, wow, Kelly's such a great friend.
Yeah, she's really
her memory suddenly really improved.
I'm not gonna lie, I do have like a bit of a bad memory. So when people are like, oh, I have this event, that's not really how I show care of my friendships. I usually just like I just remember to like text them and check up on them, but not like a specific important thing that they
had mentioned before.
So I'm trying to get better at that.
Yeah, a big love language for the way that I care and receive care is like checking up on specific things they had mentioned in the past. Because then it feels like, oh, they were actually listening.
Yeah. Okay, that's true. That is a good indication. I'll be better at that.
And it's like, oh, they're actually thinking of me. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways. So we're both doing better. Other big realization that we had at the start of 2026. Well, okay, I guess for me, and then also for you, I want to get married and have kids, guys. And I was like, if I want kids, that means I also need a partner.
I was going to say you need sperm.
Yes.
Immaculate conception.
Yes. I was like, there is a step before having kids. It's like, I need to find a man. And then to find a man, I need to go on dates. So
very obvious logical steps.
Yes, but see, I was not ready to face the reality.
Simple truth.
Yes, that this is how I need to get to my goals. Well, first of all, I need to accept that those are my goals. In 2026, I am no longer ashamed to admit. I think it's also this misconception that like when people say, or when women say, I want to date, I find a man, people automatically assume, oh, you're lonely, you're just looking for male validation, you're desperate.
Yeah, having a boyfriend isn't cool anymore.
Yeah, or it's like you're not a strong, independent woman, that you are lonely and that you can't take care of yourself and you're a damsel in distress, that you need a man to take care of you. It's like, no, that is not true. I am perfectly fine and happy being single, but it's like, if I have a goal of having a family, I do need a counterpart. So, I am no longer ashamed to say,
yes,
oh, I should probably find a man. And I do want to find a man.
And
a good man. I refuse to settle. Like, I'm not saying I'm just going to marry whoever just so I can have a kid. No, if I get married, I better marry the love of my freaking life.
Is a big step forward from episode 1.
Yes.
In which you've accepted you have to move on from the guy you couldn't get over. Because he's not going to give you this, what you actually want for your future.
Yes.
I think that's an interesting part about, like, some relationships are a bit like a drug. And the only way to break an addiction is to find something you want more.
Yes.
Like, it's not to, like, deprive yourself of a particular dopamine hit. But it's to find something else. You're like, actually, like, I care about this more than this.
Exactly.
Which is my long-term joy and happiness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And similarly for you, you're also more open to dating in 2026, right?
I think maybe I'm less open than you, but I have accepted that. Actually, so I think my perspective on dating and marriage is a little different, but the part that we both agree on is that we haven't been particularly proactive about it.
Yeah.
And we're very proactive about other parts of our life, right?
Yes.
Like, if you want something, you go out and get it.
Yeah.
You know, you want a different job, you want to dance.
Yeah.
Like, you make that an actionable priority.
Yeah.
But with dating, we both just, like, sat on our asses.
Yeah.
Okay. Christina's been single for a lot longer than me. I need the year off since I'm a serial monogamous. But, there is, like, you need to take proactive steps, whether that's, like, self-improvement or meeting people or, like, getting on the apps. Like, yeah, like, love can find you anywhere, but also your pool is your pool, and, like, you need to go look for it. You have to, like, go swimming or something.
Like, I've had the same pool for 3 years, and
yeah,
I'm
you need
single,
to go expand
so.
it. Yeah. But I think my view on kids in marriage is that, okay, I want it, but let's lump them together, marriage and kids, for now.
Yeah.
I want it, but I want it secondary to meeting the love of my life.
Okay.
Or, like, having this, like, amazing relationship and connection where I feel like I'm not, of course, you know, there's some compromise, but that they're the person that I want to be with for the rest of my life, and I'm not settling. I don't want marriage and kids more than I want that.
Yes.
So if I never find that, I would rather not settle to have marriage and kids.
I agree. I'm on the same
boat. So, like, I would give up marriage and kids if it meant that I don't, like, if I'm not doing it with the love of my life.
I agree. Yeah. So we're on the same page.
But we do have a calendar invite for Pi Day on our calendars, where we will be getting on the apps on March 14th. Really specific.
What day is it today?
It's coming up kind of quick.
7th.
I kind of don't have the mental space for this. I have half a mind to back out of this, actually.
Wait, stop! Because if you back out, I'm gonna back out.
So
I
actually don't want to date before the summer. I'm only doing this because both you and Claire said that I need to do it to motivate you guys.
Really? Wait, I thought you said it's because you want to at least experience a first date in New York before you turn 27 in April.
I did say that, and then I realized my semester is going to be really bad from March till May. And that I'll be chill in the summer. But, you know, gotta stick to your word, whatever. Love of my life.
Okay, you know what's gonna happen? Carolyn is gonna find the love of her life, and then me and Claire are gonna be single for the next, like, 10 years. And then girl you guys will have didn't even want it that bad is gonna be like, wow, this really worked out. Versus me and Claire are just gonna be struggling and not finding anyone.
No, I'm determined to be picky this time. But I will disappear off the face of the earth like everyone we know, and you guys can be best friends.
Oh my god. I mean, I would love to be best friends with Claire. You better not disappear, though. Okay, see, that's the thing about me. I don't shit talk you behind your back because I would just say it to your face.
Yeah, she says everything to my face. And I'm like, yes, you're right, you're right. But I don't ever crash out at you.
Yeah, you've never crashed out at anyone.
My mother once, after she voted for Trump.
Right, yes.
Yeah. I don't generally crash out at people.
Yeah.
Maybe it'd be better if I was, like, more open.
I would love to see you crash out at someone.
At you? You want me to crash out at you?
Yeah, never mind. I take it all back. Be careful what you wish for.
Wait, I think that if I crashed out at you, you would respect how well I handle you crashing out at me. Because it's really hard to handle it.
Oh, really?
When someone's crashing out at you, it's really hard not to get defensive.
Oh, no, that's true. That's true.
Because you feel so attacked. You have to, like, calm your nervous system and think about what they're saying and not their tone.
That's true. That's true. No, I do respect it a lot. And also, my friend, Alex. Wait, did I name? Oh, okay, whatever.
Alex
when I was
it really well.
Fuck you. He was like, yes, I understand what I did was wrong.
It was so funny.
I was like, oh my gosh, well, now I feel kind of bad. But actually not really. Because if I think about it for a second longer, I'm like no, I was actually in deep distress.
And now we all
feel
better.
My sadness turned into anger. That's what it was. My therapist always told me I have a lot of anger in me. Anyway, so, where else? I thought we were also going to talk about mommy issues.
We were going to talk about, like, people who are naturally happy. And I think in this case, we can talk about being naturally angry people. Because I don't really possess any anger towards people.
You don't have anger.
Like, you can assault me and I'll be like...
Oh my gosh! That's... Okay.
Sorry, that was a little triggering.
I think I got more angry over that than you did. And I say that every single time that we bring this topic up.
Okay. Anyways, but the tangent here is that I was talking to Lena about a concept that we're calling the unbearable lightness of being, which is also a book title.
Yes.
And originally it was in the context of people who are naturally good versus people who have to struggle to be good. But Christina and I have like evolved this topic a bit to the idea of people who are naturally happy and people who have to really work and struggle to be present and like content and like positive in their day-to-day life. And it's just interesting comparing different people in our lives. And the example that I was giving was with Tim, my brother, and his girlfriend Carlene, where they really bond because they're like, you know, we haven't experienced like really difficult childhoods.
Yeah.
And they've like generally grown up in loving families. And because of that, they're like really wonderful, lovely, pleasant people to be around. And there's no like deep darkness and like difficult to understand trauma in them. And like, it's not that, you know, they don't have problems or issues or like traumas at all. But they're just generally like loving people who want to do good in the world and like help their friends out, and everything's like, they find a lot of joy in a way that's maybe easier than for other people. And then like Lena and I have talked about how like, you know, she has a lot more day-to-day anxiety or like that struggle to be like happy and content and present and not in survival mode is more of a struggle. And it's interesting because that's not something you necessarily, like if you live another day in someone else's head, you have no idea how much mental load they're carrying versus like how empty and happy someone else's head can be. And I think I'm kind of honestly like 50-50 on that scale. I don't think I lean completely one way or the other. But you were talking about like your experience with that.
Yeah. Wait, okay, let's unpack both. Where do you stand on the scale for both of doing good? Does it come naturally versus not? And then your default state of happiness leans more happy or more unhappy?
So I think I have a coin with a flip side. I think one, I am naturally, with the way I was raised and believing that God loves me, raised very secure. I really love myself. And I just believe generally everyone likes me and I like everyone, and like I don't have a lot of anxiety in my relationships. The flip side of that is that because I don't worry a lot about what people think about me, I can also be more self-centered. And so I don't go out of my way to be the most people-pleasing, like considerate person. And so there you can argue that I struggle to be naturally good, not just like good in always, but just I struggle to be as giving and selfless. Not that I don't think I'm not, but I need to remind myself a bit more. You know, I tend to like
focus on my own issues or my own needs in a situation. You know,
Yeah.
like, I'll eat first, I'll eat the last bite, I'll think about what I want at any moment.
Yeah.
And I don't think that means I'm not a good friend, but like,
No,
thinking of
not.
others comes less naturally to me.
Right.
But going out of my way to be a loving person or like not react a certain way or just view people in a loving way comes very naturally to me. Like, I don't view people with suspicion. I give everyone the benefit of the doubt. So I think in that aspect, being good is easy because everyone's always treated me well. And I have this, like, in some ways naive, in other ways really helpful view. I think everyone wants to be my friend, and I want to be everyone's friend, and that makes my relationships easier.
Right. It's really about how you define good. Like,
good has
good
many
person.
facets,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
With happiness, I think it is a bit more 50-50. I think I lean more on I wake up and I'm like, today's going to be a great day. And I'm going to enjoy work. And for years and years of my life as a working adult, I had no Sunday scaries. I was excited to go to work on Monday to, you know, serve my country, to serve my community. Thank you to my younger self for making the career decisions that I did. But I think that's why New York has been such a struggle, because I'm not used to the amount of waking up in dread and like stress. And like Lena and I have also had this conversation. I think I'm interested to get your take, where she's like, a lot of what you're dealing with and the stress and the survival mode, she's like, I struggle to understand why you're having such a hard time handling it. And she was like, that was my life for years and years and years. And I just learned how to handle the stress better. And I was like, oh, that's interesting and probably true that I had a more relaxed and like stress-free life for a number of years now. And so I have a hard time identifying when I'm like hitting a wall and burning out, or I'm pushing myself too hard. This is a perfect segue into mommy issues, which is essentially all of our problems connect to our mommy issues in some way.
Yes.
But when you have like every extra dollar is like that you spend is such a source of anxiety, and that narrative and like penny pitching that much really worked for them, because when you're poor, it helps get you out of poverty. And like, in a sense, being really frugal and not being in debt is good. But like,
and also for them, it was really hard to find another job, because it's like the whole
visa thing. Who wants to sponsor you?
Because my friend, she did a financial analysis, and she was like, actually saving money does not get you that much further compared to if you just up leveled your salary.
You should always make more money instead of trying to penny pinch, because you'll never penny pinch your way, and you can never save down to zero. There's this mentality that like you can spend zero money and that's a goal. Like, money is meant to make your life better.
But anyway, your mother,
we were
mindset.
We were having a conversation, and then you should talk about your parents' mindset that you realized needed to evolve. Is that this is also related to the movie Coco, right? Where certain narratives and certain habits saved you as an immigrant family. And so even when you don't need them anymore and they're outdated, you still cling on to them because it saved you. And for my parents, it's this like very conservative version of Christianity, because it taught my mom that she doesn't need to be accepted by white America, and that she can find value in her identity and love herself because God loves her. And even if white people never accept her, like, she doesn't need to crave their attention and validation anymore. Which, as a 23-year-old coming here for the first time, like, that's really hard when you're ostracized. But because you like cling to that version of Christianity, it's really hard to let your understanding of your religion evolve, because you like view it as something that saved you, and therefore you can't change it in any way. But what was we were talking about narratives that your parents had.
Going back to what Carolyn was saying about the scale of naturally doing good,
naturally being happy.
I have to make a conscious effort that when I wake up in the morning, I tell myself, oh, I live a pretty good life. I
have lots of things to be grateful for.
I have so many things to be grateful for, materially, in terms of like relationships, emotional support, like in many areas. I have so many things to be grateful for. And I But it's a conscious effort to remind myself. That's not
So you're saying you're not naturally happy?
No.
You're naturally... What's your natural emotion? Stress?
My natural emotion is thinking about, oh, this could be better. I could be doing this. Yeah, it's like, it's either...
Striving.
I could be doing XYZ better, or XYZ in my life could be better. If only XYZ.
And that's why you're so accomplished. But also, that's...
Sure.
Harder. It's harder to live in the moment.
It's harder to live in the moment. You're always nitpicking at yourself. It triggers my perfectionism, which
no
I've
offense.
worked on.
I don't want to live in your head.
Yeah.
I also don't want to live in Lena's head. I like my own
but
head.
I've gotten a lot better. Like, that was me in college. Yeah. I think now... I'm not perfectionist at all anymore. I'm like, I'm too tired to care. It was just such a heavy mental load. So it's like, I think over the years of repeating that to myself, it's actually worked. You know when people on Instagram tell you...
Mantras. Yeah. Say your mantras.
In the morning, like, look at yourself in the mirror and be like, you are beautiful.
Wait, my therapist was like...
Yeah. I was like, I think I do a less cheesy version. I mean, if you do that, that's great. I support you. You should keep doing it because it works. I think I do a little bit of a less cheesy version of that where every morning, literally the first thing when I wake up... Okay, this is actually kind of embarrassing to admit.
You've never told me this.
Yeah, I haven't told anyone this yet. Okay, so... Okay, I'm not a Korea boo. Let me just preface what I'm about to say.
She looks so embarrassed.
I'm so embarrassed right now. I'm not a Korea boo. I have much respect for the Korean culture, but it's not like an obsession or anything. Okay, my point being,
I would beg to differ.
The first thing I say in my head when I wake up is the Korean word that's like, I'm not pronouncing it correctly, but it's like, 좋다, which is
I don't know the word.
This is good. Or it's like, yeah,
that's
it's like,
very
this
sweet.
is nice. Yes.
Wait, what do you mean? You wake up and you think that?
Yes, like that is like the
my
first
life is
word.
nice?
Just like, yeah, like this is nice. Like I'm like in bed, I get to wake up, I get to be alive today, and I get to like go to work, and I get to go to a dance class later. I get to go see my friends later. I got a good 8 hours of sleep last night because I can finally sleep in an apartment that doesn't have a clanging heating pipe. Yeah, like that's like the meaning of that phrase where it's like, oh, this is nice.
Oh, that's really working for you.
Yes. And so for myself, I don't like going through like line item by line item, like things that I'm grateful for, because for me, it becomes too complicated because my brain, it's an internal dialogue that does not shut off, where it's like, oh, I'm grateful for this, but then I could also be better. Maybe I should still work on this.
Oh my God. So your natural instinct to strive comes into your gratitude.
Yes. And it's also like...
Interesting.
I'm not trying to compare to anyone. I'm not trying to brag. Like, it's just too much.
Oh my God, your brain is so tiring.
It's so tiring.
How are you not tired all the time?
That's why in college I always looked like a fucking raccoon. How do I sleep at night? I don't know. That's why when I wake up in the morning, I just keep it really simple. And I'm like, this is nice. Okay, we're good. And then I get out of bed.
Interesting.
And I brush my teeth, wash my face.
When did you start this?
I really love this dancer from 1 Million Dance Studio. Her name is Yoo Jung Lee.
You talked about her on the podcast.
I've talked about her. She's amazing. She did a Q&A vlog. Oh. And that was very inspiring to me.
Wow.
She doesn't do what I do.
Yeah.
But it's just her as a person. She embodies that very uncomplicated joyful personality. I think that's her default state. Versus for me, it's like, oh, I wish I was more like that. And so it's so interesting because I think a lot of people, or even younger me, looks up to people who are like, super high achieving, super ambitious, has so much money, has like the cutest clothes and cutest person, whatever. I was like, no, I really respect someone who is just like joyful and like,
my takeaway from this is that we have this idea of you're naturally happy, right?
Yeah.
And this also comes from the book The Courage to Be Disliked, which I've been recommending to everyone. But the idea that your circumstances, what you accomplish, can change all the time, right?
Yeah.
And so having your happiness depend on those things is extremely unstable.
Yes.
And also that at the end of the day, happiness is your own personal choice.
Yes.
Over your perspective.
Yeah.
And even if you're not naturally inclined to be happy,
right,
you can work towards agency towards changing that. Yeah. And I know most people try to change their circumstances in order to be happier.
You can just change your mindset.
But changing your mindset at the end of the day is what works.
Yeah.
So I'm like, has my situation materially changed? In some ways, yes. In a lot of ways, no.
Yeah.
But it really is just a mindset shift.
Yeah.
So your brain is your most powerful organ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of rubbed off on me. And I also saw this Instagram reel recently where it also, like, something clicked in my brain where it was like, you know, when you reach your dance dream of, like, being Tate McRae's backup dancer, that's gonna last for, like, a good 2 minutes on stage. So you're gonna live, like, 20 years of your life to be happy for 2 minutes. That's ridiculous. Like, you should just enjoy even going to each dance class and treating that as, oh, this is what makes me happy. Because it's like, when I started dancing, that's what made me happy. And it's like, yes, over time you evolve and you're like, oh, I have certain goals now. And then I started losing the joy of just being in class and enjoying a combo. And so now I treat class very differently.
Actually, something just clicked for me. I realized when I said the phrase, and I know we've thought about this before, isn't dance just a hobby, right?
Yeah.
And you felt that I didn't take it seriously. Now that you said that, what I meant it as was, can you just enjoy this for what it is and not have to strive in it and achieve something in it?
Oh.
Because I think I had always seen that, like, you were always striving in all these areas of your life, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, if you turn this into also something that you're striving, like, are you gonna lose just the, like, relaxation and pleasure and, like, what it's giving you as something that has no expectations for you to accomplish anything?
Yeah, you were trying to look out for me.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, I don't want dance to turn to something that just causes
like a
you
burden
anxiety.
as well.
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah,
I didn't really make the connection until now. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Because I interpreted it as, because I was already insecure about it.
Yeah.
I was like, she thinks I'm not good enough to.
And I never thought that, and two, I would have no idea what is good or good enough.
But yeah, anyways, so, you know what God wants for you, like, he'll open the doors to.
Yeah, and that's a healthy mindset, and that's why we view it that way as Christians.
Yeah.
Because you, like, don't need to have a clenched fist.
Yeah.
On all these different aspects of your life.
Yeah.
I think I never understood what it meant to, like, trust in God's will.
Interesting.
Because it always felt like trusting God's will meant that you didn't do anything. But in reality, we talked about this phrase in design thinking class this week, and I thought it was cute, which is like, you should always make a plan for your life. You should never expect your life to go according to plans.
Oh yeah, I've heard that before.
Right? So it's just the idea of, like, you know, you prep, you do it, and then you hope it works out, and then if it doesn't, you don't hold on to it so tightly.
Right.
Yeah. Like, there's that Sylvia Plath poem or story she writes about how she's under a fig tree and each fruit is all the different life paths she could have taken, right? To be a writer, a mother, and all these things. And she's so paralyzed by all the options that she just sits there, and then all the fruit falls and rots. And she never did anything.
Yeah.
But there is a sense of, it's so paralyzing that oftentimes it's difficult to just make that first change. And I think that's not even for, like, this person. It's not like a specific person. I have a lot of friends in my life who are in a comfortable place and they want to make a change, and they're just, like, too scared to, like, take that leap. I don't know, it's hard because it's, like, important to have a positive mindset and find joy in your current state, but also have agency to change your circumstances to reach your goals. Like, both things need to be true.
Right.
I think we lean more on one side than the other.
Yeah.
So like we focus on striving, and it's important for us to focus on like daily contentment.
Yeah.
And the flip side is also true for other people.
Yeah.
We didn't really get to mommy issues, but I really wanted to use mommy issues in the title, because I wanted to clickbait on mommy issues. But I think all of our podcasts have been clickbaity titles.
Yeah.
Sex Dreams was clickbaity.
Especially yours. Wait. Yeah, didn't you just like roll over and like hold hands with someone?
No, it was a makeout dream. Oh no, did I even make out with them?
Oh my
no,
God.
I don't think so.
She made eye contact with the guy for 2 minutes or something. Or 2 seconds.
We haven't been touched in so long that honest.
Okay, so any final takeaways from this session?
Hopefully our listeners see that we're on an upward swing and not always in a crisis. And I have to apologize to everyone who has to listen to me be like, fucking grad school for the 8th time that week. I'm curious to hear what our listeners, our 5 listeners, since we've dipped back in our listener viewership, like what other people want us to discuss, or like other ideas, or be interested. Like,
good
reader submissions.
point. Yeah.
That
do you
could
guys
be
have
interesting.
Q&A for us?
Wait, we should have people submit Q&A questions. That'd be so fun. Okay, any last thoughts before we log off and argue about Mina Sue for another hour? Okay, so the conclusion to this podcast is we love Mina Sue.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna throw you out the window.
Okay, bye everyone.
Bye.